Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a review lead here at GreenLite. My role is to act as a client liaison, and I primarily review drawings before they go out to the jurisdictions to make sure that everything looks good and we're going to get permits really fast. What I do at a day-to-day basis at GreenLite is receive drawings from clients. We review them, make sure everything looks good before we send things in for permitting. Act as a client liaison to hold meetings and discussions with the design team, answer any questions that they have about our comments, and then assist our permitting team with getting everything prepped to send in for review with the jurisdictions. And then on the other end, once we get comments back from the reviewers at the jurisdictions, we assist the design team in creating responses to go back based on our experience with different reviewers and different jurisdictions. In a single day, I will be talking to clients, talking to client design teams, and also talking to reviewers at the jurisdictions to get any clarifications that we might need on comments that they've sent to us. Talking to the jurisdictions means that we would call any of the reviewers, a building reviewer or a plumbing reviewer, let's say, if they had specific questions on the drawings. We would make sure that however we're planning to respond to those comments is actually what they're looking for. We try to get a lot of clarification in order to avoid back and forth with the jurisdictions. I think unfortunately a lot of reviewers are expecting not as much positivity when they talk to people on the phone. So part of our customer service orientation to what we do here is basically being kind and understanding that the reviewers are getting sort of the best treatment as possible. As well as we treat our clients, we want to treat the reviewers as well. I think in general, reviewers are often on the defensive, and so we try to definitely play the opposite role. We want to work with them and make the process go as smoothly as possible. If we're friendly and nice, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, right? I think city reviewers get a lot of calls from unhappy clients or designers who are frustrated with the permitting process, and they just want to get things through as quickly as possible without trying to look at it from the reviewer's perspective. And so our goal is to also put ourselves in their shoes, understand what code compliance looks like from their perspective, and be able to address that in a clear, concise way. Let's say we get a set of comments from a reviewer and we find a comment in there where we know that comment is actually already addressed somewhere in the drawings. Ideally, we would like to call the reviewer and say, if you take a look at this drawing, you'll see the answer to this question, and hopefully they'll just close out that comment. And then we don't have to spend time resolving it elsewhere, and that saves time for everyone. If I wasn't involved in the process, you would end up in a situation where you might go back to the reviewer and they still might not see it on the drawings, and then you could just be in a perpetual loop. We just try to cut right to the chase and get them on the phone and say, hey, this is where it is. Do you see it? Is that okay? Does that cover what you're looking for? And go from there. So when I was working as an architect at an architecture firm, it was often a large time commitment to receive these comments back from the reviewers at the jurisdictions, take a look at them, address them, send them back, or do any of the coordination like calling them to get clarification. Being in the position now where I can save an architect or a design team time by doing that work for them, they're almost more willing to pick up the comments and work faster because somebody's done the hard work, the legwork. And yeah, we're happy to help with that. So the culture at GreenLite is very different than where I worked before. At a traditional architecture firm, you work with fellow architects. Here I get the luxury of working with other registered engineers and professionals who are specialists in their fields. I also have a chance to work with our product engineers who are developing the software and making sure that we can produce reviews that are as efficient as possible. And once we do our code compliance review, we sit down with the design team and we review all of the comments with them. We want to make sure that they're 100% clear on the comments that we've made, why we've made them, and how that's going to benefit them in the long run to get a faster permit. if I had had that when I was an architect. It would have made me very happy.